Welcome students to the next lecture of Study Magnetic Fields. In this lecture, we are going to discuss Ampere circuitry law and some parameters related to the current I. Let us first define what is current and the next parameter of the current, that is current density. So electric charges, when they are in motion, they will constitute a current. When electrons flow from one point to another point through a conductor like this, then it will constitute a current. In this conductor, let capital A be the cross-sectional area through which the electrons are passing at any reference time, and V, capital V, is the voltage applied between the two ends of the conductor. The unit of the current is amperes, and it is defined as rate of movement of charge passing a given reference point, or it is crossing through a given reference plane. So I in equation form is given as I is equal to dq by dt. Current is defined as motion of positive charges, although the conduction in metal takes place through the motion of electrons, because in conductors electrons are more in number. So current is defined as motion of positive, or it may be motion of negative charges. The current density J is defined and measured in ampere per square meter. It is current divided by cross sectional area A. The increment of current delta I crossing an incremental surface delta S normal to the current density is given by delta I is equal to Jn, that is normal component of J, multiplied by delta S, where delta S is a surface area and delta I is the incremental value of current which is because of the current density Jn. If the current density is not perpendicular to the surface, then we have to take the dot product of J and delta S bar. In here, delta I is given by J multiplied by delta S. Here both the components are assumed to be uh, normal. Jn is a normal component, delta S is a vector quantity, surface area, and it is also having a normal component. So if the current density is not perpendicular to the surface, means current is not passing exactly perpendicular to the surface, then there is incremental current is given by J dot delta S. We have to take the dot product, because in dot product we always consider the perpendicular components. After integration of this delta I, we will get complete current passing through the complete area delta S. So we will get a relationship I is equal to integration of J bar dot ds bar, where J bar is the current density in ampere per meter square and ds is the area through which the current is passing. This integration is a surface integration, or it is a double integration. So this relation is very important relation which relates current density, surface area and current I in amperes. The current density may be related to the velocity of the volume charge density at a point. Let rho v be the volume charge density or the charge present inside this volume. Then we can write delta q is equal to rho v into delta v, where delta v is called as volume, small volume. So for this small volume, let delta S be the area of this front surface and let delta L be the length of the cube. So delta V is again equal to delta S multiplied by delta L. Now if delta Q is equal to rho V into delta V, that comes out to be delta V is replaced by delta S and into delta L. So delta Q becomes rho V into delta S into delta S. If this volume is moved by a small distance delta x along x-axis within a time delta t, then then change in current can be, or change in charge can be given by in time interval delta t, the element of charge, that is this cube which is filled of charge has moved through a distance delta x. The charge moving through a reference plane perpendicular to the direction of motion is delta q, that is equal to rho v into delta s into delta x. So the movement, because of this movement, the change in the charge, that is delta q, is given by rho v into delta s, and the distance is delta x. Therefore we can write delta I is equal to delta q divided by delta t. This is already known equation to us. If I replace this delta q by rho v into delta s into delta x, then it will become rho v into delta s multiplied by delta x divided by delta t, where delta x divided by delta t is velocity of the movement of this volume. So if the current density can be related to this velocity of volume charge density by this equation as delta I is equal to rho v into delta s into vx, where vs is a velocity with which that volume has been moved. The limit of moving charge with respect to time is therefore delta I, and it is equal to rho v into delta s into vx. In terms of current density, if I take this delta s to this side, then it will become delta I divided by delta s, that is equal to jx, and that is equal to rho v into vx. So jx is equal to jx, that is current density is related to the velocity by this equation. Jx is equal to rho v into vx. Or in general we can write, because j is a vector quantity, it can be expressed in terms of its component. Here in first equation we have expressed j in terms of x component only, but j can have y component, it can have a z component also. Therefore j is equal to rho v into v. In general, this is the general expression for j. The last results, this result shows that the charge in motion constitute a current. The charge, that is volume charge density, and v means the motion. So charge in motion constitute a current. We name it here as conventional current. J is equal to rho v into v is called as convention current density, and this J is measured in ampere per meter square. Okay, so the principle of continuity of current हे अजून एक term आहे. So it tells about the principle of conservation of charge. The charges cannot be created or cannot be destroyed, but equal amount of positive and negative charge may be simultaneously created and obtained by separation, or they may be destroyed or lost by recombination. So I we have written as surface integration of JDS. This continuity equation for this is a continuity equation for of current for closed surface. This integral is closed integral. JDS J bar dot ds bar closed integration of surface gives capital I. What the equation again tells is any outward flow of positive charges must be balanced by decrease of positive charges within the closed surface. Charges may be positive or negative. The any outward flow of positive charges means from a surface area or from a closed surface area. जर surface close झाली तर ते volume तयार होते. मग अशा closed surface मधून जितकं whatever the charge that is moving outside, that should be balanced by decrease of charge within that surface. Okay, so net flow, outward flow is nothing but reduction of that charges within that volume. If the charge inside closed surface is denoted by Qj, then the rate of decrease of charge, that is minus dqi by dt. Principle of conservation of charge requires I is equal to JDS. So this JDS we can write in terms of, so it is JDS means outward flow of charge, and that is we call generally as current. And so I is equal to JDS, that is outward flow of current, and that should be balanced by decrease of charge within that closed surface or within that volume. So one more equation we got, double integration of JDS is equal to minus dqi by dt. The integral form, this is known as integral form of continuity equation. This is known as integral form of continuity equation. So just remember this, JDS, closed integration of JDS is equal to negative dqi by dt. So in case of metallic conductors, the current flows readily. So valence electrons will move under the influence of electric field. We know that whenever we apply the voltage, then only the valence electrons move from the negative terminal towards the positive terminal of the battery. And the electron having a charge q, suppose an electron is having a charge q, that is equal to minus E, that is one electron charge, will experience a force, and that force is given by F is equal to charge multiplied by electric field. We have already seen this. F is equal to Q into E आपण बघितलंय. तर F is equal to काय होणार, Q च्या ऐवजी जर मायनस E लिहिलं तर काय होणार, F is equal to minus E into capital E, where E is electric field intensity in volts per meter. In crystalline material, the progress of electrons is impeded by collisions of lattice structure, and constant average velocity is soon attained. This velocity Vd is termed as drift velocity. It is linearly related to the electric field intensity by the mobility of electrons. So Vd is what? Drift velocity of electrons. So totally आपण J चं equation असं लिहू शकतो, J bar is equal to rho E, that is density of that electrons. Then sorry, conductivity of the electrons, mu is mobility of the electrons, and E is the electric field applied. So again we have one more equation for J bar in terms of physics laws. J bar is equal to minus rho E mu E into E, but we can write this as J is equal to rho what, J is equal to sigma into E, where sigma म्हणजे काय असणार आहे, minus rho E into mu E. तर what, J is equal to sigma into E, where sigma म्हणजे काय असणार आहे, minus rho E into mu E. तर sigma हे मात्र, this equation we are going to use many a times in the next chapters also. So J is what? Current density. Sigma is conductivity. Conductivity of the material. Whenever we are going to see that electromagnetic wave chapter, then this sigma is very important. The conductivity of the material decides whether beam or electronic wave can enter into that material, how much it will go, at how much depth it will go. That is decided by this sigma parameter. So sigma is, remember, sigma is conductivity, and it is measured in Siemens per meter. It is measured in Siemens per meter. So J bar is equal to sigma into E. So J bar is equal to sigma into E. So this is one more equation for J bar. We have to remember this for the next chapters. So what is sigma? Sigma is minus rho E into mu E by the, which is also known as, this J is equal to sigma is also known as point form of Ohm's law. So these three equations are important. Most of the times this J is equal to sigma E we are going to use. So now with this brief introduction of J bar, I, and all the other parameters, this equation is again important. I is equal to closed surface integration of J bar dot ds bar, and one more term that is important is this, I is equal to integration of J dot ds. Now here this integration is not closed integration, it is open integration. The surface is open. Okay, so this integration is open integration, and we have started with the initial ID is equal to dq by dt. So we have seen some parameters related to the current and the current density. Now we will move towards the actual next parameter of magnetostatic, that is next law of the magnetostatic, that is Ampere's circuital law. What the law states is, Ampere's circuital law states that the line integral of H about any closed path is exactly equal to the direct current enclosed by that path. Now this Ampere circuital law is analogous to Gauss law. Closed line integral of H, gives us the current enclosed. म्हणजे काय, if I circulate the H, if I circulate H parameter or intensity, magnetic field intensity, if I moved through a closed distance, in this case it is dl. So if I moved H through a path dl, then what I will get is equal to I. Okay, so it is closed line integration of H bar dot dl bar is equal to I enclosed. This is the Ampere circuital law. Similar to Gauss law, we can apply this Ampere circuital law to find the different current or different intensities, H bar, because of different shapes. For infinite line current, what is H? For coaxial cable, what is magnetic field intensity inside coaxial cable? For different kind of conductors, what are the magnetic field intensity? To find H bar, we can apply Ampere's circuital law. So see here in this figure, the first application is started here. Now symmetry suggests that H will be circular, constant value at constant radius, and centered at the current, centered on the current axis. The only requirement to apply this Ampere's law is the path should be closed, and the path should enclose the conductor. Then only I can say that it is equal to current. The path should completely enclose the current carrying conductor. So here in this figure below, consider that this Z is the axis and the current is flowing through this Z axis in infinite length. Now, because of this current, there will be magnetic field surrounding this current carrying filament. So these vectors A phi cap are showing here the magnetic field intensity directions. Let small r be the radius of this path. Okay, and at point P, we can write the equation for magnetic field intensity H bar. We have already known this equation. We have already derived equation. If infinite current carrying filament is present on Z axis, what is the equation for H? H is equal to I upon 2 pi r into A phi cap. हे आपण इक्वेशन डिराइव्ह केले. आता हे इक्वेशन आपण अप्लाय करायचं आहे आणि वेदर HDL इज इक्वल टू I येते का नाही बघायचं आहे. म्हणजे आपण Ampere's law प्रूव्ह करायचा आहे. Okay, so to prove the Ampere's law, we have to show that if I take the closed integration of HDL, then I will get. So LHS is equal to RHS मला दाखवायचं आहे, म्हणजे मी I have to prove the Ampere's law. So for that I have considered this diagram. So to prove this law, आता if we know that according to the Biot-Savart law, now let us see the next slide. So to prove this law, if we know that according to the Biot-Savart law, if infinite current carrying filament is present on Z axis, then what is equation of H? H is given by I upon 2 pi r into A phi cap. We have seen this equation already. So where what is rho, or it is equal, it is nothing but r. So that is the distance between the point where you want to find the intensity, the point P, and this Z axis, because filament is present on Z axis. So this distance is nothing but the radius. So r and radius ला आपण इथं rho असं notation वापरले. So I upon 2 pi rho into A phi cap. This equation we already know. So this is first equation. But what we want to prove? We want to prove that H bar dot dl bar. So H is already there. What is equation of dl? Now if I consider this figure, then I will consider the cylindrical system. And in cylindrical system, if I consider small part of this circular path, then is dl bar. Now that circular path will have equation which is equal to dl equal to r into d phi. or dl bar is equal to r into d phi into a phi cap, because this path is a curve shape. There is small path. If I consider this from this point to this point, say if this path I want to consider, then what is the equation for this path? It is equal to r into d phi, right? So dl bar is equal to r into d phi into a phi cap. Then I will use that r into d phi into a phi cap here, and I will take the dot product of this h and that dl bar. So if I take dot product of h, which is equal to I upon 2 pi r into a phi cap with dl bar, is equal to r d phi into a phi cap. So that dot product will come as I upon 2 pi r into r d phi. So h phi means this part. I into 2 pi r means h phi, and dl bar madla rho and d phi इथं आलेलं आहे. So if this row and this row will get cancelled, so that row will get cancelled and 1 upon 2 pi will remain there in h phi. आणि मग integration of d phi असेल. So what is the limits for that d phi integration? It is 0 to 2 pi. The limits are 0 to 2 pi. So if I put the limits, then it will become h phi into 2 pi r. So r they have kept as is, h phi they have kept as it is, and it is d phi is the integration nri phi, so it is equal to 2 pi minus 0. So h phi into 2 pi into r, that is equal to I. Now what is h phi? So h phi will become I upon 2 pi r, and that is nothing but this equation. So we have proved HDL is equal to I. So in this way we can prove the Ampere's circuital law. So now there are different applications of the Ampere's circuital law. The first application is to find h bar due to infinitely long straight conductor. Now we know already this equation, h bar is equal to I upon 2 pi r into a phi cap, and we are going to find out same equation using Ampere's law. Now we are going to derive same equation using Ampere's, by applying Ampere's law. So that is discussed here. Consider, so this is the first application of Ampere's law. Consider an infinitely long straight conductor placed along z axis, carrying a direct current I. Consider the closed path. This is the closed path. Whenever we apply Ampere's law, first we have to consider a closed path. This is the first step. Find the conductor where it is placed, enclose that conductor by a closed path, and then apply h bar dot dl bar. Find out h bar dot dl bar, and whatever you get at the right hand side, that is your final value. So here we consider this as closed path. So consider point P on the closed path at which we want to find out intensity, point P. The radius of this path is, let us take this radius as r or rho in cylindrical system. The magnitude of h bar depends on the value of r, and the direction is always tangential to the closed path. So h bar has only component a phi cap in the direction, and this component a phi of h is nothing but h phi, जसं मगाशी आपण बघितलं. So consider this elementary length dl bar of this path at point P in cylindrical system. So this dl equation is given by r into d phi in a phi direction. So h will become h phi into a phi, and dl is equal to r into d phi into a phi cap. So h bar dot dl bar is equal to h phi a phi cap dot r d phi a phi cap. So a phi म्हणजे 1 असणार आहे. It will give us h phi into r into d phi. Next, now according to Ampere's circuital law, we know that circular integration of h bar dot dl bar is equal to I. Therefore, what is h bar? What is h bar dot dl bar? It is equal to h phi into r d phi is equal to I. So h phi is constant, we will take outside. R is constant, integration of d phi will be there from phi is equal to 0 to 2 pi, and that is equal to I. So if I take the integration, that is phi, so 2 pi minus 0 it is, so h phi into r into 2 pi is equal to I. So h phi is equal to I divided by 2 pi r. दिस इज एच फाय. जर मला एच पाहिजे असेल, म्हणजे वेक्टर एच बार पाहिजे असेल, तर काय आपण लिहितो एच फाय इंटू ए फाय कॅप. सो आय विल मल्टिप्लाय दिस पॅरामीटर बाय ए फाय कॅप. सो आय गेट I upon 2 pi r into a phi cap. Now this equation is derived by application of Ampere's law. We know this equation already, but we have derived it using Ampere's law. So this is application of Ampere's law to find what? To find intensity at point P due to infinite current carrying filament. So same things are applied to find different intensities, magnetic field intensity because of coaxial cables. This is one more important term where we can apply the Ampere's law and magnetic field theory to find the intensities inside the coaxial cables. Because in coaxial cables there are two conductors. See here how the coaxial cable looks like. The middle conductor is a continuous straight conductor, or it may be a stranded conductor. So this coaxial cable, coaxial transmission line, many a times we use this kind of transmission line to transmit the signals, wired signals, maybe television signals or maybe any other signals, radio signals sometimes. So this kind of coaxial cables, we have to determine what is the magnetic field inside it, outside it. So like that. So this is the application of this Ampere's law. We can find out intensity at various points inside of the cable and outside the cable. So cable, it has two concentric solid conductors. The middle one is also solid, or it may have different small conductors joined together, stacked together, and the line is assumed to be infinitely long, and the circular symmetry suggests that H will be entirely phi directed. Phi directed means it is directed along phi direction. So it is phi directed and will vary only with radius. So it depends solely upon the radius. At which radius you want to find intensity, depending upon that, the intensity values will change. So what is our objective? Our objective is to find the magnetic field at all values of radius r or rho, because in some books it is nominated as rho. So see this coaxial cable, the middle is a solid conductor, outer part is also a conducting part. So we can either find intensity within this conductor, within the space between this conductor and this conductor, or outside of the conductor. So what are different values of this intensity H by applying the Ampere's law? We are going to see. So see here the figure below. The middle conductor may be a bundle of conductors. So so depending upon which conductor you will choose, the phi one will be different because their radius is different. So you will have different H phi values. But if I consider that the middle conductor is a solid conductor, suppose the middle conductor is solid conductor which is having radius equal to a, and the outer conductor is having radius is equal to b. The outer conductor is having radius is equal to b. Now in between the space of these two conductors, I want the value of magnetic field intensity, H phi, magnitude of magnetic field intensity. So first what I will do, I will apply Ampere's law. So I will enclose this middle conductor by a path, this path, which is having radius equal to rho or equal to r. So this path, once I enclose this conductor, middle conductor by a path, now I can apply the Ampere's law. And according to Ampere's law, what I will do, I will integrate H bar and dl bar. I will integrate H bar and dl bar. Now, as this path has completely enclosed this conductor, and if I is the current flowing through this entire conductor in an infinite length, infinite line, we are just seeing the cross section of this conductor, but it is in infinite length. So that conductor is completely enclosed by a path which has a radius equal to rho. And we have already seen if such kind of things are there, then what is the value of h phi? H phi is equal to I upon 2 pi r. So in this case, this path completely encloses the current carrying filament. So Ampere's law is it is easily applicable, and according to that law, if I apply this, I will get H is equal to H phi Fi, where H phi is what? I upon 2 pi r. So same is applicable here, and we can directly write H phi is equal to I upon 2 pi r, where what is R? R is the radius of that enclosed path. Radius of that enclosed path. So this is the magnitude of intensity in between these two conductors. जे दोन्ही कंडक्टरच्या मध्ये जी स्पेस आहे तिथं इंटेन्सिटी येणार आहे I upon 2 pi r. So this is application. We applied the Ampere's circuital law to find the H in between those two conductors. Now, if I want H inside the middle conductor, in this case, here the path has been closed. So I want intensity inside the middle conductor at a distance r from the center. So this is new rho, new value of radius inside the conductor. Now it may have a different value other than I. So what is that enclosed value? Initially it was capital I when the radius was a. Okay, but now it will depend upon this new radius rho, and it is directly proportional to rho square, because this area, because the area has been changed. Okay, so that current, because of this rho square area, cross sectional area is equal to new current I enclosed, and that is equal to fraction of complete current, and that depends upon this pi rho square divided by pi a square. So pi getting cancelled, so we got I into rho square divided by a square. So this is the new current value for this inner path, because of this path new conductor has been formed which is having less radius. So this is our new I enclosed. Now for this new I enclosed, what is H? So I will apply now HDL. So HDL, H phi into rho into d phi. So it is equal to H phi into 2 pi r, because r d phi, integration of d phi is 2 pi. So we will equate these two, because this is I and this is HDL. So this HDL is equal to I enclosed here. So HDL is this, I is this. So I will equate these two equations. And after equating these two equations, what is the value of H phi? H phi is equal to I into rho into 2 pi a square. So this is the intensity magnitude. Direction is always a phi cap. This is the intensity magnitude within the conductor, within the inner conductor. It is given by H phi is equal to I rho divided by 2 pi a square. So this is another application of the same Ampere's law. We have derived one more equation. And third thing, we can apply again Ampere's law to find field outside both the conductors. But if I want to find out intensity outside the coaxial cable, then what is the intensity? Okay, so outside the coaxial cable at a distance r or at a distance rho, if I take this closed path, आपल्याला अप्लाय करायचं असेल जर एम्पियर्स लॉ, तर आपल्याला काय करावं लागतं? पहिल्यांदा क्लोज्ड पाथ कन्सिडर करावं लागतं. सो दिस इज माय क्लोज्ड पाथ. आय हॅव कन्सिडर्ड ॲट अ डिस्टन्स rho which is greater than this c. C is the radius of the outer conductor, so it is greater than c. So HDL for this path is 0. Closed integration of HDL is equal to 0. Why? Because there are two conductors. One is this one and the other one is this one. One will have intensity going inside this plane. One will have the intensity direction or the current direction which is going inside the plane. So this cross sign, see the cross sign here. So the cross sign indicates that current is going inside the plane. And here in the above conductor, the dot sign is there. And if there is a dot sign, then the current is flowing coming out of the plane. So these two currents here, they are opposite in direction. The currents are in opposite direction. So their fields are also in opposite direction. So whatever field generated by inner conductor will be cancelled by outer conductor, because these two conductors are having same length. That means whatever current enclosed by this outer path is equal to sum of these two sum of intensities of these generated by these two conductors separately, and they are equal but opposite in direction, so they will cancel each other. So outside the coaxial cable there is no magnetic field present. Outside the coaxial cable there is no magnetic field present, so H phi component at R greater than C is equal to 0. And one more application is to find field outside the outer conductor, means outside the value of this B. B आणि C हे B हे आतली रेडियस आहे आणि C ही या आउटर कंडक्टरची बाहेरची रेडियस आहे. त्या दोन्हींच्या मध्ये आपल्याला जर इथं इंटेन्सिटी पाहिजे असेल, ब्लू कलरची लाईन आहे इथं, तर इथे इंटेन्सिटी पाहिजे असेल तर दॅट कॅन बी ऑल्सो फाइंड आउट युझिंग अप्लाइंग एम्पियर सर्किट लॉ. अँड so for this path we have to consider a closed path again, and let the closed path will have some radius, and that radius, so that can be found out by this equation directly, rho square upon minus b square, where rho is what, the radius of this new path, the enclosing path. So it is rho square minus b square, because for this path whatever the current enclosed is this one, I minus I into rho square minus b square divided by c square minus b square. Too many parameters are there. So this is the new value of I, because already one I is present and part of this is also present. So we have to consider both the things. So I minus I, rho square minus b square, c square minus b square is there. That is equal to 2 pi r into h phi. So h phi is equal to I upon 2 pi r into bracket c square minus rho square c square divided by c square minus b square. This is the intensity at the distance r, which is in between B and C. In between B and C, outer conductor च्या मध्ये. Okay, in this way we can apply the Ampere circuital law to find different intensities within the coaxial cable. Understood this? Hello everyone. Hello. Okay, Pratik, Prerna. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
हा,
Pratik.
झालं का, ऐकलंय का व्यवस्थित ते? Applications of circuit, applications of Ampere's law, and okay, so we have to remember only the HDL. Most of the time HDL is equal to I. Hey, this we have to remember. Other parameters are rarely used. This equation is important. Other parameters, this proof may be asked sometimes. Application of Ampere's law to find the H due to straight line conductor, and other we have to just, for other applications we have to just remember the final equation, this equation, how to find the intensity at H. There may be examples based on this. Okay, so this is the application of Ampere's law. Now the last figure here discusses all the results, all the values of this as a function of radial in case of a coaxial cable. So I upon 2 pi a is the maximum value of intensity we'll find at I equal for R equal to a. So intensity, maximum intensity is present if it is found at exactly radius at which is equal to capital A, and after that the intensity goes on decreasing as the radius or this radius goes on increasing, and it becomes exactly 0 at radius equal to 4a. Okay, so This means in case of coaxial cable, the magnetic field intensity exists only within the two conductors. Outside the conductor, there is no magnetic field. That's why the coaxial cables are designed according to that. So there is no loss of energy there, intensity there in case of coaxial cable.